What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, where we dissect your favorite films, film franchises, and TV. Today, on episode 55 of the podcast, we are entering the danger zone and talking about the 1986 classic Top Gun. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello!
I just realized what shirt you said you were going to wear. I have that same shirt.
Yeah, because it came from a loot crate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Archer, though. And Sterling Archer's favorite movie is Top Gun, and his favorite song is Danger Zone. There's literally a scene in an or in one of the trailers for the new season that is just a shot, like it's a remake of this the motorcycle scene from this movie, where he's riding the motorcycle. He's like, yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome. That's great.
Oh, so we decided to talk about Top Gun because Top Gun Maverick comes out. Actually, comes out today as you all are listening or watching. And we are eventually, hopefully, if Dan and Angela's theater gets the movie, we're going to be doing we're doing a fresh cut on Top Gun Maverick. So
yeah, I've got the inside scoop. Yeah, they're getting
all right, cool. So yeah, we're going to be doing that at some point. It might not be soon after the movie comes out, but you will be getting a fresh cut on Top Gun Maverick. So that's why we're here, talking about Top Gun. Something a little bit different that I want to talk about before we get into things is at the end of the show, I'm going to start something new where I post on Twitter what movie we're talking about and for people to leave their thoughts on the movie. And then at the end, we're going to talk, we'll say what people said and, shout you out and all that stuff. We don't have many contributors for today, but hopefully we'll get some more going forward. Also, we're going to announce what movie we're doing next week. Hopefully, Dan has it decided.
I do, actually. We were just talking about it.
All right.
I already knew what I was
going to do.
Okay, I will, but there's a story to it I'll tell at the end. Remind me. It was like,
right.
I already knew what I was going to do, and then I had a fucking sign. I was like, whoa.
All right, cool.
Today.
Today.
It is so hot here. I have a fan on me, but it keeps blowing in my eyes and making my ey's water, and it's really obnoxious.
Dude, you should just do this movie. You just spritz yourself with a spray bottle and just get really close to the camera.
Just pour the water over my head. Oh,
bring that red light in closer.
We'll just call this Top Gun the Sweaty Guy edition. They should have put an edition out like that,
Everybody was sweaty.
Everybody was sweaty. All right, well, you know how this all goes. We go around the room, we talk about what we thought of the movie, and then we'll go into our normal, craziness.
You have to go. This was your pick.
I'm just gonna call you out. Every other week we're just gonna start with, this week we'll start with Angela. The next time we'll start with Dan, because you guys just we got, rock, paper, scissors going on over there. I don't know what's happening, but Angela, you're starting us off today.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I've seen it probably 4 or 5 times. You haven't watched it. Parker hasn't watched
Is this
it.
your first time?
Yep.
The second time.
Yeah, but he didn't remember anything about, but 2 scenes. And you mention it every time we talk about Top Gun. Yeah. But I love this movie. I love the music in the movie. What are you doing? I just love it. I don't know. I get emotional with the Top Gun theme. I remember playing Top Gun as a kid.
Game fucking sucks.
Throwing the controller because you can't beat it. But anyways, I loved it. Great movie.
Okay, so I've seen this movie before. Long time ago. She made me watch it.
And he didn't pay attention.
I watched some of it. Listen, there's far less bro volleyball in this movie than I remembered myself. Not a big fan of this movie the last time I watched it. And to be frank, actually, I really enjoyed it this time. I actually enjoyed the movie. I actually sat down and paid attention and enjoyed it. And last time I watched it, I do not remember the reason for these people being here. I just knew there were jets, bros flying jets. Val Kilmer was there, and it was the 80s, the year I was born. Is when this came out. So
it came out before you were born.
It technically 86, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was May.
May before, but it released the year I came out. Yes.
Yeah, the year it came out.
Yeah, so I don't even know if if it came out on the day, that would be really ironic. But excuse me, I did. I think I gave this movie a second chance, more open minded, and I actually enjoyed the film. It's not really like a top film, but I would say this is a genuinely good movie, properly good. It's not like the best thing ever, but it's good. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. The music's very. It's a little above. It's like between middle and top. It's like it's an upper tier gun, but not all the way. Qualms. I thought the romance scene was shit. It looked like a crappy music video. They're getting sweaty. Well, it's not when everybody's sweating, but when they're getting sweaty, it literally is like with all the blue lighting, it literally looked like an 80s music video. Like that was my big complaint. But other than that, it was fine. It's a good movie.
I mean, this was I feel it was a music video for Danger Zone. I mean, the song was specifically written for this movie, which I thought was funny because I just thought it was a Kenny Loggins song that they just were like perfect.
I thought it was too. I was like, that's just a song.
Yeah, it was written for this movie, and there was actually 2 other bands that were up to perform the song before they actually got Kenny Loggins to do it. It was Toto, who does Africa, and who was REO Speedwagon. Was also,
give it the fucking Speedwagon.
I don't know, man. Kenny Loggins, he nailed that song, man.
Robert E.O. Speedwagon. Come on, man. JoJo reference. But anyway, go ahead.
I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I was expecting to, because I am not a huge 80s Tom Cruise fan. I am more of a modern Tom Cruise fan, like 2000s and later. I didn't get into Tom Cruise till probably like Jerry Maguire, which I wasn't into Risky Business. I wasn't into I don't even know. I'm trying to think of other Tom Cruise movies from the 80s. I just didn't like the vibe of Tom Cruise in the 80s.
It was just Risky Business and Top Gun. That was it.
Okay. All right. That was his career in the 80s. All right.
Yeah.
But no, for me, I enjoyed this movie because the fighter jet scenes are just so awesome because they're all practical. Like, they literally had, professionals doing these crazy maneuvers and all that, and I just thought it was badass.
The jet stuff felt like proper, like it. I mean, I'm not an expert on air combat, but it looked good. Like, I thought they did a good job.
The performances from the other actors, like Val Kilmer, of course, he played it really well, which he actually didn't want to be in this movie. The only reason he was in it because he was contractually obligated to be in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it turned out to be like one of his most iconic roles of his career. Anthony Edwards, who plays Goose, I loved the relationship between him and Maverick. I thought it was really genuine. Like, these dudes are actually friends in real life. Like, it wasn't just part of the movie. I thought it was great. The only thing, and we'll get to it when we get through the plot, I mean, spoiler alert, guys, Goose dies. It's a big thing. It's a big deal for this movie. But it felt like that was the biggest issue for me, was like the emotions for like when certain events would happen just weren't there. Like, Goose dies and it was like, I don't feel anything. And I feel like they don't either. And we just move on from there because that's the motivation for Maverick.
Like that scene, speaking of that, because when it happens, it's obviously it's just kind of a fluke. It's not like it for any real reason. Like, the way he dies is like there's not really any buildup. It just kind of happens. It's like, oh, they're going to eject and get out, and the whole yeah. So you're just like, what now?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's what they tried to capture, like the spontaneity of it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel it happened so fast. Like, it was like boom, and I was like, oh, I was expecting that to be more towards like the end of the movie, but it kind of happened in the middle, and you still had all this movie left, and you're like, oh, all right. Tom Skerritt is awesome. Did you know he was actually in the Air Force in the 50s?
Did not.
Yeah, so definitely probably a contributing factor of him getting cast in this role.
Possibly.
And didn't know that Top Gun was an actual real place. I didn't know it was a real thing. I thought it was made up for this movie. Yeah, there's an actual, Top Gun training facility for like top pilots.
Please tell me that's fucking real.
What? The
trivia
imposes a $5 fine to any staff member that quotes the film.
That's the first trivia on IMDb.
I hope that's fucking true. I really do.
I clicked on it and I was like, it
man.
went away. It's back.
But yeah, other than, I mean, the soundtrack is iconic with Danger Zone and Take My Breath Away. You either had, the funniest thing is you either had Danger Zone or you had Take My Breath Away. That was the only two songs that played, except for there was one other Kenny Loggins song that would play later on in the movie. I can't remember what the name of it was, but I was like, well, okay, we have 3 songs in this movie.
Well, they also play when they're Tom Cruise is at the one lady's house, Charlie's house.
Feeling.
What now?
They sing that You've Lost That Loving Feeling.
Well, that too, but they also play Otis Redding's version of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Oh, yeah.
It's also there. I grew up listening to that music, so.
But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised how much I actually enjoyed this movie.
Me too. On my second viewing, I was expecting just to be like,
oh god, just literally dude bros, just all the whole movie. That was what I was expecting. Just dude bros. I mean, there was a lot of dude bros in this movie. Just high fiving all the time.
Could you imagine if this movie was made like a little over 10 years later? There'd be so many homophobic slang, so much homophobic slang in this movie.
Oh, 100%.
10-year difference, man.
Yep. The 90s were nothing special.
They were cutthroat.
Yeah. Other than that, I had a fun time. I had a fun time with the movie. It was fast paced. There wasn't any lull moments in the movie. Even the really awkward romantic scenes between Maverick and Charlie there. It was one of those like, these are 2 people who don't want to do this right now. But it's in the script.
There's a few things, as I know I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan, but some of his facial expressions when stuff's happening is so genuine to me. Like, he does such a good job with some of his facial expressions. Like when he's just talking, he'll get that shitting grin on his face and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just, again, I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan either. I don't mind his stuff.
Shitting and grin is normal for him.
Yeah, but I think he just did a good job in this movie.
So, this movie was directed by Tony Scott. I did not know this.
Remind me.
If you don't know who Tony Scott is, he is the brother of famous director Ridley Scott. He directed such films as, he did Beverly Hills Cop 2, Days of Thunder, The Last Boy Scout, True Romance, Crimson Tide, Enemy of the State, Man on Fire, Deja Vu, and his last film before his death was Unstoppable in 2010. He made some great movies throughout his career. And unfortunately, he passed away back in 2012. I did not know that this movie was directed by him, and it was a pleasant surprise when I'm watching the opening credits and I see his name, and I'm like, oh shit, no way.
Well, I seen the one that kind of caught me was that when you see Jerry Bruckheimer, I'm like, oh fuck, he's been at this a while, hasn't he? Like,
Jerry Bruckheimer was the reason that Tom Cruise actually ended up being on the film. He really, his first thought when they were casting for Maverick was, I want Tom Cruise, but Tom Cruise kept turning it down. So he went to him. He's like, hey, why don't you come in, do a fly around with the Blue Angels. Like, he did a ride along with them. And Tom Cruise just had a blast with it. And he literally called his agent and said, I'm doing this movie. So Jerry Bruckheimer is you don't fuck around with that guy. That guy, when Jerry Bruckheimer is involved, you're probably going to be part of some successful franchise or a successful film. I mean, the dude knows how to make you money.
Yeah, that's true.
This movie was based on an article that was written about the Top Gun school. So some of the characters in the movie are actually based on real life pilots. And I think Charlie actually was based on a real I don't know if she was an instructor or what she was. What was she, like just an instructor?
No, the
school?
Yeah,
or an advisor or something.
Yeah, because she'd come in from the Pentagon and stuff and talk about things. So some kind of instructory advisory.
She says she's an instructor, there, but she does more, I guess, more related to what the planes can do. Like she does,
Maybe like a tech expert.
yeah, because she knows a lot about them, like
Yeah.
what they can do and what they can't do, and like their limits and stuff. Even though
Big Dick Cruz is like, I got this shit.
Yeah.
Let me tell
He's
you
like, "But you're
about
wrong."
4G poles and flipping off MiGs. All right.
So yeah. Other than that, just overall fun movie, and I am ready to talk about it.
Let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk. Say some words.
Words. So
all
hard
the
to
words.
say. Oh, actually, let's go over some other things. So, of course, this movie stars Tom Cruise as our title character, Maverick. Then we have Kelly McGinnis, who plays Charlotte, aka Charlie, who is kind of the love interest to Maverick, but also she has other parts in this movie. Like she's just somebody who's trying to do her job, but she falls for the tough kid, you know. Val Kilmer's in this. He's kind of the villain, I guess, or like just the
I guess like a nemesis. A rival. A rival.
Yeah.
I'd say like a rival.
And it was not as he didn't seem. I guess I was going into it more like he was just like going to be a complete douchebag throughout the entire thing, but his character was much more than that, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, he has his moments where he's a dickhead, but he's not. That's not his only thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's not his only like trait.
You have Anthony Edwards, who plays Goose. He became huge with ER in the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah. And of course Tom Skerritt, who has been he's been acting for a very long time. He was in MASH, he was in Alien. Oh, he was in Alien.
Who was he in Alien?
Oh. He was
Dallas.
Dallas.
He's fucking Dallas.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
Jesus.
dude. God,
I'm so
man.
stupid. He was in the Dead Zone. Yeah. A river runs through it. Poltergeist. Okay, we don't need to mention that movie. And Up in Smoke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yes. Gotta love it. Got to love it. He's still going strong, man. He's 88 years old and he's still acting.
Dude, in the game Alien Isolation, he redid his voice as Dallas.
That's badass.
That's dope, dude. That's consistency.
But from 1951 to 1955, he served in the United States Air Force. So,
good for him. Thank you, sir.
There we
you
go.
Never watched this, but thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you didn't know, there is a sequel that actually comes out today that has been hailed as better than this.
Really?
So that gets me excited.
Is there some Rotten Tomato score?
I mean, I can check the Rotten Tomato scores on Maverick right now.
I mean, if people watch it, like it'll be like something we can look forward to. But people watching this could just go watch after they watch this. They could just go watch the movie.
Just go
right now. Go support your local theater.
Let's see what do we got here. Top Gun Maverick has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes with 135 reviews. So yeah, it is getting rave reviews.
That is surprising.
This movie, though, came out May 12th, 1986 in New York and May 16th, 1986 in the rest of the United States. It runs at 110 minutes, so not too bad, under 2 hours. I was cool with that. It was very fast paced. Appreciated that. But boy, did this movie destroy the box office in the 80s. $15 million budget, $357.1 million at the box office. Holy shit. This movie was very successful. And it's crazy that that a sequel took 36 years to happen.
Yeah, thank you for telling me.
So wild.
Well, actually, when you think about it though, like as big of a gap as I know it's not exactly the same, but like this movie could have just been another Independence Day.
Oh God.
Resurrection. We could have got one of those.
Oh God, we don't need to talk about that until we talk about that, you know?
Yeah, right?
Yuck.
Yeah.
In 2015, the United States Library of Congress selected the movie for preservation in the National Film Registry, finding it culturally, historically, and authentically significant. So, bravo, Top Gun. You blew me away with how good you ended up being. And I know a lot of people, including Angela, said that this movie is good. And I was one of those on Dance High going, it's just a bunch of sweaty dudes playing volleyball, which literally only happens in this movie for about a minute.
It's not very long. I don't know why it's the one I remember. It was just like,
because that's what they show on everything. They just show the volleyball scene.
Maybe it's because you liked it.
That's fine.
I mean, Tom Cruise was ripped.
They were all
Right.
ripped. I was like, God, why can't I would have been
And I'm
ripped?
like, why is he wearing pants? Jeans.
And then after
of
he's done,
all
he throws on a
things.
jacket.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sweating. Why am I putting on a leather jacket?
That's probably why, like, everybody
No wonder
just
he's
sweat.
sweating.
Wear heavy clothes and just sweat all the time. in
That's
this movie.
terrible.
Dude, if
That's the
you're
worst.
if you're gonna play beach volleyball, at least wear khakis. Something lighter.
Nah,
No,
I'd be-
these are
I'd be-
jeans.
Nah, I'd
Do
be
some
wearing
jorts.
Yeah, I'd be wearing these shortest shorts that wouldn't expose me, you know?
Cut them up, cut off,
they
dude. Have
did
some
do
sack
this in
hanging
the
out.
80s. I mean, those short shorts. They were.
However, you might not want to go too short because you don't get sand in there. Cause a lot of chafing.
Yeah. Nah, you got to get the ones that are like tight, that like form around you, all right? Sand
Like
can
nut
get in there.
huggers?
Yeah.
When he dove into the sand, I'm pretty sure he got some in his pants.
Oh, it's the worst.
That lady is not gonna like that love making later.
Sand,
That's for sure.
sandy balls, just not the best.
I got the chafe. Got some sandy balls, boy.
Oh god.
All right.
All right, let's get into this plot. Do we have anything to add before we do?
There are no more. Going to be no more sandy ball talk for the rest of this
All
movie.
right. I
Are
can't
you sure?
guarantee
For the rest
that.
of this. For this, I'm not.
Until we get to that scene.
No, we already talked about it.
Oh my god.
We gotta go over it.
Oh boy. All right. Top Gun. It opens with some 80s tunes, man. You just bam, punches you right in the face. It's
Welcome
the
to
80s,
the 80s.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And it gives you a little title card, or it gives you a little card there that tells you about how the best of the best when it comes to pilots, they go to the Top Gun. They're called Top Guns. And you're like, oh, is this real? And then yes, it is a real thing.
See, that's what I was like, no fucking way. Like, we were talking about this. Like, I don't remember why these guys are here. Like, it's just dudes in a jet and volleyball is all I could think about. Like, why are they here?
But
And I was
then,
like, okay,
but then
this
you
makes
watch the
sense.
movie and you see they add so much that you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense now.
Yeah, there's a reason. And it's during
Yeah.
the Cold War. So, we got some Ruski tension. So,
Yeah, the MiGs, as they call
yeah,
them.
MiG-28s, yeah.
Yep.
They fly.
So, yeah, this is when we get the fucking danger zone. We get the Kenny Loggins right in your face. They literally punch you in the stomach and you're all about it.
You're sold. You're sold.
I can't do any more. That is YouTube will strike this video. But yeah, we hear it. I'm already in. We get lots of jets taken off of a aircraft carrier, which is really cool. So the way that Tony Scott got this shot, because he really wanted the shot of jets taking off of the aircraft carrier with the sun, behind it. So it gives you that really cool silhouette. Well,
Yeah.
the direction the ship was going, it didn't give that. He couldn't get the shot. So he asked, like, hey, can we, change direction? And they're like, yeah, it'll cost you $25,000. And he's like, all right. And he just wrote a $25,000 check and handed it to the captain. And he just turned the ship. So he got that shot. He's like, oh, all right, cool.
It's a worthwhile investment. It looked great.
Yeah.
Like, the shot looked awesome.
It looks so good. And it's in the Indian Ocean, just for context, I guess.
Yep.
We get and then we see the scary black jets, which is the MiG. Was it MiG-28? Is that what you said?
Yeah, MiG-28s. Yes,
So the
sir.
MiGs in this movie were actually, let me see if I can find there was something that stated that like the MiGs were a certain jet. Oh, okay. The
MiG-28s were actually the Czechoslovakian block knockoffs, the DIG
no,
28s.
it was another U.S. jet that they painted black to make it look like a MiG.
Okay.
And after they filmed the movie, they just kept the color scheme and they sent it to the Top Gun school to be like to pretend to be those type of jets, so they could train with them.
That's cool.
Yeah. I can't remember what the jets were. Sorry. I swear I read the freaking trivia and I've lost it. So there you go. But we'll
keep looking.
There it is. Maverick and Goose.
There were
sorry.
F5s. F5s.
All right. Thank you for finding it. Maverick and Goose go in to investigate, and so also I never knew. So I knew Goose died for a long time before I watched this movie. It was because it's one of those like iconic deaths in cinema, the death of Goose.
Yeah.
And I thought Goose was a pilot. I didn't know he was the navigator. I didn't know he was the guy.
Rio.
I was like, oh, okay. I found it out in the watching the movie. So we get the two MiGs. The head guy is not happy. As Principal Strickland from Back to the Future. Is it Strickland? He's the principal of Michael J. Fox's high school in Back to the Future.
Really?
The guy who plays the bald, like admiral.
Oh yeah, the guy on the ship.
Yeah. Maverick thinks he scares him off, but they return because he does the cool move where he like gets behind him. He like stops the brakes and it like causes the jet to like kind of like stall out, but he can reset. It's a fucking cool maneuver.
Yeah, it's dope.
They start chasing Cougar, who's in another jet. It's Cougar and I can't remember what his navigator was.
Oh, damn it. Oh, because it's Tim Robbins is his navigator.
Oh, it's Merlin.
That's what it is, yeah.
Which it said Tim Robbins was in this movie, and I like even when he was in the scene, it didn't look like Tim Robbins to me. And then I never see him again. And I was like, oh, he shows up in the final part of this movie, but like I'm like, Tim Robbins, like Shawshank Redemption, like Tim Robbins is a huge actor. I just didn't see him. I just completely missed him in this movie.
It's like The Mask and everything. Just you lose people.
And he's like the third actor who's credited in this movie.
Dude, I want to tell you what, dude, if we ever do another like Tim Robbins themed movie, we need to watch Nothing to Lose. It's a fantastic fucking movie. Just
at some point we need to do Shawshank Redemption.
I agree, but I'm just saying we need to watch it because it's great. Keep going.
So yeah, they start chasing Cougar and he starts kind of freaking out. And he's shaken up and he won't like he can't get out of his daze to go back to the aircraft carrier. And Maverick has to come and pretty much like coerce him back to the jet or to the carrier. And he has to go in front of what is he, an admiral? Is he what position is this guy?
I don't know his name, but what his thing is, but I know you're talking about. It's like he's in charge of that ship. Like he's the dude over that ship. I don't know if it's him. I don't.
It's Stinger. His name is Stinger. The head guy there. They're the guy that's in command. But he's shaken up and he pretty much quits because he's got a family that he was thinking about the whole time, and he just doesn't want to get into that situation again.
It's just got underneath his skin. He turns his wings in. He's like, "Nah, dude, I can't do this anymore."
Because he said he hadn't met his kids.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
So after he quits, Stinger brings Maverick and Goose in to yell at him at first, but then he's like, well, I'm sending you boys to Top Gun. And the reason that Maverick gets in is because the fact that Cougar left. Because Cougar was actually originally supposed to go, him and Goose. But instead, Maverick gets put in. Like, Maverick is considered like one of the best fighter pilots like out of the group, but because he's such a reckless dick, he just he's not on anybody's top list,
No, he's and plus the flybys, he doesn't like the tower and shit like that. Such an idiot.
It's like, well, how does this guy always getting coffee at that moment? Like he's always getting coffee. Stop doing that, man.
Well, I understand.
It's like you should have learned the first time not to drink coffee after he requests a flyby.
Well, I mean,
or get I call a cap on it.
I call Maverick an idiot for it, but it is part of his character. It's how he is.
Oh, it's hilarious. I thought it was great. So we find out that Maverick's a troublemaker. They're going to Top Gun, and that's when we get Danger Zone again. Bam, bam, bam. We just keep getting it, baby.
More Danger Zone.
Yep.
How many times does it play in this movie?
Huh?
How many times does that play in this movie?
Like
4 times?
At least 3-4 times. Okay. We get another Kenny Loggins song later, but I can't remember the name of it.
It's Jamming Your Loggins. It's when they're having sex, I think.
No, that's that's the other song.
Okay,
Take
sorry.
my breath away.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Every time a romantic scene happens, that's the song that plays. This is when we get the iconic motorcycle scene where Maverick is riding the motorcycle along with the jet taking off, which is a really cool fucking shot.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Why?
You got like that light strip. That light strip.
Yeah. Do you know before I watched this movie and before we were going to record this episode, I thought I was going to trash the shit out of this thing. And I'm like, fuck, man. It's so hard to talk shit about this movie.
It's a really fun movie. It really is.
Danger Zone was played 3 times. Take My Breath Away was played 4 times, and it's the Playing with the Boys.
Is that another Kenny Loggins?
Please tell me that was during the volleyball scene. So no jamming your logins.
There is.
Kenny is missing out making a song that's titled Is Kenny Loggins the one who plays the fucking like saxophone thing?
Oh, that's isn't it?
Kenny G.
Kenny G.
Yeah.
Damn, I always get those two mixed up. So yeah, we get the iconic motorcycle scene. Great shot. This is where we meet Iceman, who's played by Val Kilmer. We get a couple horny guys who are just horny for this shit, man. They're learning about flying fighter jets and like, I'm so horny right now. And you're like, oh boy,
dude.
All right,
dude. Later, he's like, they must be close. I'm getting a hard on. I was like, what?
Oh, that's yeah. These are horny as fuck.
Yeah,
and we meet Tom Skerritt's character, Viper. What a badass fucking call name.
I like Viper.
Maverick's a cocky motherfucker. And he talks about, he's just, sitting there all like, yeah, I could do all that stuff. I did it before. It's like, oh, okay, tough guy. Because he talks about how his name is going to be on the plaque in the back.
Yep.
Which I thought was good. And then, of course, Iceman is he's the Joker of the group because they're walking away. What does he say to Maverick that causes Goose to do like the really fake laugh?
Something about some other board being in the back or the
ladies' room.
Yeah,
that's
something
it.
like that.
He's like, oh well, you'll be on the board in the ladies' room, and then Goose does the really like eccentric, hysterical laugh. Like, oh, you're so funny, man.
Yeah, then he goes up to the board. And he's like, oh, guys, by the way, Goose is 2 O's.
Yep, 2 O's.
Yeah. Yep. God damn.
I like how
Goose is great. Why did they have to kill him?
Yeah, even though he's kind of like he seemed like he would easily fall into that that character that's only really positive when like Tom Cruise is around. Like he's still a very like positive, upbeat guy. Like he'll still talk shit,
Yeah, exactly. So we then get the scene where all the pilots are just measuring each other's dicks at the local bar. Like legit, that's what they're doing.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
We find out that Iceman is just continues to be a dick. Mav and Goose do karaoke to try to woo the lady at the bar, who we find out is Charlie. And Mav thinks that he's got a chance with her. He sits down, talks to her, and then she's like, yeah, well, I got a friend over there I got to get back to. The guy, the old man who's waiting for her at the table is the real Viper. The guy who's Tom Skerritt's character is based on.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. And then we get the really creepy scene of Maverick following Charlotte into the bathroom. I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird, man.
Don't follow me into the
Don't do that. And she is like okay with it. Like she doesn't kind of react the way you probably should react when a guy just wanders into the ladies' room and you're by yourself. Like, hey, get the fuck out.
If this would be like if Tom Cruise wasn't an unbelievably handsome individual, this just seems like an instant sexual harassment suit.
Oh, 100%.
Well, she jokes around with him like, "Oh, you just gonna wander in here and something about doing it on the floor." He's like, "No, I was thinking this counter is pretty sturdy."
Yeah,
he's
sweet talking her with these weird things.
She's probably dealt with those kind of bullshit at this point.
So the whole reason behind it though is that he wins a bet or something, and then he's pretty much told he has to like, oh, you got to sleep with the next girl. And then after the exchange in the bathroom, she walks out and walks by Goose and she says like he was great or something like that.
Your friend was great.
Yeah, and then walks away, and he's just like, "What the fuck?" And Maverick doesn't know she said it, so she's just like, "What's up, man?" Yeah, it was just a weird fucking exchange. I
The whole
wasn't a
thing,
fan of
yeah.
it. But it was the 80s.
It's
Oh, hey.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Charlotte is a teacher for Top Gun. What a
Oh, who'd
coinky
thunk it?
dink. Yeah, right. She's teaching everybody about the jets they fly. Also talking about the MiGs. Mav tells her about his inverted flight with the MiGs, and that's when you get the bullshit line from Val
Yeah.
Kilmer, which was improvised.
And everybody's reaction was
It's like,
genuine.
no, I saw it.
Yeah. Goose is so I was there. I saw it.
Yeah.
Got an awesome Polaroid.
Yeah.
It was and it was actually like that whole scene of Maverick going inverted and flipping off the MiG pilot. That was all real.
Mhm.
That was a real shot.
Yeah.
And the guy who was piloting the plane ended up becoming an astronaut.
Well, there you
The
go.
guy piloting the plane that he flipped up, wasn't he the flight choreographer?
Probably. I didn't look.
That's what I
too
was
far into
reading on
that.
here.
Oh, okay.
It's yeah, it
And
said the
yes,
guy was
it
like the
is.
flight choreographer. There you go.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know how much you looked into it either. So
I love
Nope,
the whole
I didn't.
awkward thing. He's like, because I was inverted. I'm like, okay, what you doing with your hands here?
yeah. He's like, what were you doing? Diplomatic.
Yeah.
So we then get into our first like training situation where it's one of the instructors against Maverick and Goose, where you're trying to destroy the jet that you're up against, or
Yeah, and they're
you're supposed to win.
Yeah, the instructors have an F5, which they specifically say it is, because it's a smaller, lighter plane, like the big, which is smaller and lighter than their F-14s they pilot in this.
Yeah, they say
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
smaller, much more
faster.
maneuverable. So that is the challenge.
Yep.
So Mav
training.
makes some sweet moves and beats Jester, who is played by Michael Ironside, who is the voice of Sam Fisher in the Splinter Cell games.
Yes, he is. And he's one of those games where his last name just really suits him, like visually.
Ironside, yeah,
It just comes off like a hard
it's
ass.
great. Yeah, so they beat him, but they don't beat him because supposedly they were under a certain altitude line,
Mhm.
where
Yeah,
once they
10,000
go
feet.
once they go below that, they can't engage.
Yep.
And Maverick engaged with him. And of course, after this happens, he fucks with the tower, and that's when you get the scene when he goes by the
Yes.
tower and the guy spills his coffee all over himself.
I love it. Requesting a flyby. Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Yep. Yeah, and when I heard that, I was like, that's where that line comes from. I say that all the time, and I've never seen this movie. Oh.
I love it when people use it. It's like, you've probably never seen that movie.
Well, I was one of those people. So after this, Mav and Iceman have a word with each other. Pretty much, I mean, the thing that I appreciated about Iceman was that he wasn't a dick just for the sheer fact of being a dick. Like, he was actually genuinely trying to help Maverick, but being a dick about it.
Yeah.
So like, he's like, yeah, you're good, but you're just so cocky and full of yourself and you only care about yourself. Like, you got to worry about your way. Like, Mav's all about like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave my wingman behind and maybe not listen to my navigator or the guy who's kind of like my eyes.
Yep.
And that's pretty much Iceman's whole thing. He's trying to make him a better pilot by being a douchebag to him.
Yep.
Which I thought was a cool move for the character.
You got to listen to your Rio. They're your second set of eyes.
Yep. Mav and Goose are in trouble. You get the guy who is part in the tower. He comes out all flipping out and shit.
And he just walks into a guy carrying coffee.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's the second time.
Butts! I want butts! Calm down, dude.
They walk into the office, and Viper and Jester are, they're pissed off. They're pretty much stating the same thing about how, you're cocky, Maverick. You're fucking so good at this, but you're going to get yourself killed or somebody else killed because of how stupid you are. and they call him out about attacking below that line, that altitude line. You can't do it, so you didn't win. Which I thought, and the whole. It's always the thing about this movie. It's all about taking somebody who's really good at something and just making sure that they are becoming the best version of themselves. So it's not even about like Maverick being against Iceman or Maverick being against another pilot or against Viper or Jester or whatever. It's literally Maverick versus Maverick.
Yep.
It's trying to create that perfect pilot.
Yep.
So good. I like that angle, which is not what I thought this movie was going to be going into it. I thought it was literally going to be Maverick versus Iceman, that typical, versus, and at the end of the movie, something happens and they become friends. Ha ha, high five, movie over. But it was not that at all.
Yeah, it's literally about him dealing with his, ghosts of the past, inner demons, personal flaws. It's really what it's about.
Yep. I mean, and that's the thing, is the next scene is Maverick at his house, and Goose comes over and pretty much is like, listen, man, I got a wife, I got a kid. Like, I can't be doing this, man. We can't be like, we have to do it the right way.
Yep.
And Maverick's like, all right, man, we'll do it. We'll do it the way you want it. We then get a Maverick trying to woo Charlotte, and he succeeds, even when it looked like he failed, because she kind of turns him down, but then she gives him her phone number and tells him to meet her at her house at a certain time. And you got the douchebag in the back who's just like, nice try, dude.
Who was it?
Was he takes the plane and he goes.
Wasn't that Iceman's guy?
Yeah, was it Slider? Is that his dude? Is that his dude that goes with him, or is it Hollywood?
Hollywood is his.
Okay, I was gonna mix that.
Yeah.
He's like, you stink.
Yeah.
He just smells himself. And this is when we get the sweaty volleyball scene.
Yep.
Sweaty bro beach volleyball.
So there I was, just broing it up with my bros.
Oh man, Goose is playing with a shirt on. I was like, bro, it is hot. Like, this movie just looks hot. I swear to God, they just had heaters
all the time,
all around the set, all the time.
Well,
so everyone is sweating.
Scene.
They're in Southern California or whatever.
Yeah.
California or Florida, one of the two. I can't remember.
The funny thing is this movie is always dark. Like, it always seems like it's like dusk.
Yeah.
It's never daytime.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get the sweaty volleyball scene, and Maverick and Goose win, and that's it. It's literally like a minute long.
Yeah, there's not much to it.
And he's constantly looking at his watch because he's got to make it to Charlotte's at a certain time. And after the match is over, they're like, come on, man, one more match. And he's like, nah, I got to go. Let me put on my thick leather jacket after I just sweated my ass off playing volleyball to go ride a motorcycle, which he rode himself. Never rode a motorcycle until he was on this movie.
I will say this, as far as that comment goes, outside of, because I don't think he wore a helmet like any of the scenes he was on a motorcycle.
No.
At least he had jeans and a thick jacket on, because most people don't do that riding a motorcycle, and that's really stupid. And I'm not somebody that rides motorcycles, but I know
I thought you wore like short shorts, a tank top, and just sunglasses.
Yeah, clearly. But from people who actually do ride motorcycles, like, no, even when it's hot, you need to wear proper gear.
I will never ride a motorcycle ever.
Man.
I drove by a man a tarp being thrown over a man on the side of the road with a motorcycle right next to him, and I was like, that is definitely never going to be me, because I will never ride a motorcycle.
I've batted back and forth. I've batted back and forth about learning how to ride one, but it's just the actual investment, and it's probably never going to happen. So.
No, thank you. Maverick's late for his date, and the whole point, like, Charlotte is trying not to fall for Maverick. Her starting off, her primary goal is to find out more about the MiG-28s and how Maverick was able to beat them before he came to Top Gun. Like, and he kind of like dances around the whole conversation, and then he ends up talking about his dad, who just, the original story was his dad disappeared. He was a famous pilot. His dad disappeared and he never believed it. His mom's dead too. Stuff like that. And then Maverick leaves, and you're like, Jesus, the sexual tension is just, you could cut it with a fucking knife, man.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna go take a shower.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You want some of that fucking cake, bro.
Charlotte and Maverick run into each other in the elevator the next day, and the sexual tension just continues to be extreme. This shot was actually shot after the movie wrapped because Kelly McGinnis, her hair was a different color. That's why she's wearing a hat in the scene. And you can tell Tom Cruise's hair is a little bit longer than it was in the rest of the movie. But they made it because he looked like he just took a shower. So he was wet. So they made it slick and stuff.
You look like you need to take another shower.
Yeah. I just love how that works. It's like, when did we think of this scene to then be like, let's add this. We need this. It really doesn't add anything, to be honest.
It doesn't really.
Oh, the next day, or the same day, I don't know what day it is anymore, Goose's family shows up, and his wife is played by Meg Ryan.
Yep.
Mother of Jack Quaid, who is in the show The Boys. Did you see The Boys? Did you see the new Scream?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, then you won't know who he is.
Fair point.
But it's her kid with Dennis Quaid.
Oh, okay.
That's her.
And his son. I don't remember what his son's name is. I mean, I know what his son's name is based on the movie Maverick because he's in the new one.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is it the same actor?
No. Miles Teller plays him in the new one.
Dick farts.
Yeah. And she is very, overly excited all the time. She is a lot. Meg Ryan is a lot in this movie.
And I hate her hair. I hated her hair in the 80s. Good.
She had that
hair
for so long.
It was like a mushroom on top of her head.
Bloop. Her best hairdo was when Harry Met Sally. That's
yes.
But that was Meg Ryan, right? Am I thinking that right?
No.
Meg Ryan was in when Harry Met Sally?
I think so.
I don't know.
Dan, why don't you know?
Oh, yeah. That just screams screams like a movie I'd watch.
I just hate it.
Was that her first role? Oh, no. Well, she was on As the World Turns. But that was her first.
God.
That was her first movie. Was Top Gun.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Top dick. Sweet.
We go back to the classroom where Charlotte is talking more about the MiG situation with Maverick. And he's telling her everything that she wants to know, but it's kind of one of those things where it's so hard to believe that he did it because it's he's the only person who's ever done that type of maneuver.
Yep.
And that's how it just continues to be. It's just him continuing to tell them what happened. And they're like, I don't think you're telling me the whole story. He's like, I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
Yeah.
I was there. And Maverick and Charlotte, they get hostile, but hot. And this is where we get the very awkward sex scene where
it looks like it's a fucking music video. How it's shot.
Take my breath away. With their really weird tonguing makeout, side mouth shit going on. I'm like, these two people.
The worst one was the next time. The next time they kiss.
The tonguing is just what the hell is happening in this
faces. Their faces are squished together. I'm like, how do you kiss each other? Or
passion, motherfucker.
Goodness. Yeah. So after that, we go back to the tarmac where you get the line. Was it the Need for Speed line?
Yep, I have a need.
The Need for Speed.
And then they're like, more high fives, bro fives.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. We get a dogfight training, round 2. Viper, though, is the target. And Viper's the best of the best of the best, sir.
Yep.
And Men in Black reference.
Yes.
Maverick goes rogue to go after Viper. So pretty much by going rogue, he leaves his wingman and goes at it alone. and Jester ends up killing Maverick and Goose because they comes up from behind and gets him.
Yep.
And this is when Iceman really lays into him. It's like, dude, you're just cocky and stupid, but you're a good fucking pilot. Stop being so arrogant and dumb.
Yeah.
And Maverick's like, I love the emotion by Tom Cruise. Like, I'm so mad right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when he goes to talk to what's his name after this, he even talks about it. He's like, I don't know why I did that. It's so stupid. Like I knew not to do that.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's talking to Goose.
Yeah, Goose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Goose and Mav, they take the girls and the kid out to a bar and sing "Great Balls of Fire" like 17 times.
The same line.
Yeah. I think that's probably the only line they knew of the song. They just were like, just do it again. Do it again. Just imagine Tony Scott with his like megaphone, just like, do it again.
Nobody ever listened to that song again.
Yeah. And we get another Maverick and Charlotte weird makeout session. It's weird, man. It's where they're like on the bike facing each other, and I was like,
yeah,
boy,
she repeats the line that Meg Ryan says, "Take me to bed or lose me forever."
Yes, yeah, because she yells it to Goose. He's like, "All right, honey."
It's like, what are you gonna do with your kid?
Yeah,
you just gonna leave him there?
Yep,
right.
Here you go, Maverick, babysitter.
And that's when we get another highway to the danger zone again.
Now our account's blocked. But keep going.
This is the last one though. This is the last version of the song. We get dogfight training round 3. Maverick and Goose, they get in a bad situation. Now, the situation, not necessarily Maverick's fault.
Nope.
But yet, he's kind of blamed for it. So what happens is that it's him and Goose, and then Iceman and his guy, Hollywood, they're doing their thing, and they have, Iceman has the target in sight, but he's kind of hesitating. And they're just like, okay, you got to do it. And so what Mav does is he's like, all right, you need to get out of the way and let me get in front of you, and I'll do it. So Iceman agrees to it, gets out of the way, but he gets caught in like I can't remember what they call it, but it's what comes at the
jet wash.
Jet wash. Yeah, which is the shit that literally just comes off of the jet as it's flying at such high speeds. And it stalls out their engine, which then puts them into like a tailspin.
Yep.
And flat spin. Yeah, where the plane is like flat and then it's spinning. It's a flat spin. It's pretty self-explanatory. I didn't need to explain it to everybody. And they need to eject, and it like at first it won't work, and then what happens is they have to pop the canopy off of the jet before they do it, because if they don't, what happens to Goose happens, which
he's like, watch the canopy.
He smokes the canopy, man. Like blood splatters onto the canopy, just poof. And then he somehow is able to open up his chute and land in the water. And of course, you get Maverick goes over to him and is kind of on him, holding him. He's dead. And I do like when the Coast Guard comes and he's like, you got to let go of him. You got to let go of him. And we then cut to Maverick. Like, he's like getting himself ready or something.
Yeah, like taking a shower or something in the bathroom. Something like that.
And Viper shows up. And this is the part I couldn't stand the most. So Goose dies. Goose is literally Maverick's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like out, not just from, working together, but like they're best friends. He dies. Mm-hmm. And I just don't feel the appropriate emotions are exhibited here. Viper walks in and literally just goes, Goose is dead.
Yeah.
And Maverick goes, I know. And I'm like, that's it? And then Maverick goes to Goose's, like where he was living, to get some stuff, and his wife and his son's there. And there's really just a kind of a very short interaction between Maverick and his wife. And it just didn't seem like enough. Like the grieving was just, it didn't feel genuine, and it didn't feel like it was the appropriate grieving for somebody of such importance to Maverick. Yeah. Even Meg Ryan's performance, her husband just died, The grieving just doesn't seem like it's what it should be. I don't know. This was my least favorite part. I was like, I feel like people just aren't grieving this death as they should for such an awesome character. Goose was the best.
Exactly.
And also Viper tells Maverick, "Oh, you got to get over him. It's the only way you're gonna get past this. You just got to get over him. Yeah, let him go." And you're like, "What the fuck? He literally just died.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
You can't just just toss it away."
So Maverick has to go in front of like the court martial because at first they deemed him responsible, but then they deemed him not responsible because of the fact that, you know, they followed the proper procedures. It was just kind of a freak accident.
Yeah, it's just like our current day judicial system, where it's not innocent until proven guilty, it's guilty until proven innocent.
Yep.
Speaking of everybody sweating.
You got the sweats going on?
The sweats.
Sunburn.
Get the Tom Cruise sweats.
Ugh.
Oh man. And so Maverick is all out of sorts.
Oh yeah.
He's just having a tough time flying. He's being very hesitant. He's got a new navigator who is, you know, he's trying to do the best he can, but unfortunately Maverick is like not about it.
Sundown.
Yeah, Sundown.
And Viper is, no matter what is happening, Viper is very confident that he's going to get back into his A game. And he's like, "No, you got to keep sending him up.
Yeah.
Iceman shares his condolences for Goose. Maverick ends up quitting. And that's when you get the weird scene where like Maverick quits and like you see that guy named Wolfman calling it in.
Wolfman.
He's like, "Maverick just quit." And I was like,
"Who's he calling?"
Who? Yeah. Where did that go? That didn't go anywhere. That was
like an odd thing.
That was such a weird scene. Charlotte and Maverick meet up again, and she pretty much like, "You're a fucking quitter, bitch. You're a bitch and a quitter." And he's like,
"Yeah,
why would you say that to me?
My self-esteem's in the trash. I can't counter these statements."
Yeah. So what does he do? He goes to visit Viper at his house. They talk about Maverick's dad because Viper knew him. And he tells him the actual reason for his, you know, Maverick always thought he disappeared, but he actually died protecting other pilots.
Yeah, saved 3 other planes before he was shot down.
Yep.
Even though he was told to leave.
Yep.
He talks him, he doesn't really talk him into staying. It's more of like, you know, you do what you want to do, but if you don't go back, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, because he said he's got enough points to graduate.
Yeah.
Or you can just quit.
Right. He just pretty much is like, you have to understand your fear. You like, if you can conquer your fear, then you're going to be great. You're going to be able to be better than you were before. And so Maverick's like, "All right, I'm going to go back." So what does he do? He goes back to where Charlotte lived and she's not there. And you're like, "Oh, sad." Iceman wins the top pilot of the class at the graduation. And Maverick ends up going to the graduation because why would you not graduate when you're a day out? Like, he was going to quit like a day or two before his graduation.
Yeah. It's like the guy told him, "You already got enough to graduate. Just fucking show up, dude.
Yeah, just go there." And after that, they get called in for a mission. And of course, this is when Iceman's like, "Yeah, we don't need Maverick up there. That's a bad idea to have him be the backup. It's just, bad things will happen." And this is a time for a real dogfight. Hollywood gets shot. Oh, so no, Hollywood is a pilot. He's not the navigator for Iceman.
Yeah, he is not.
Hollywood is an actual pilot.
Well, see, I don't know if he was his Rio before, but I think they've split them up and they've got new.
Okay. Because he ends up getting shot down. And so it's Maverick and Iceman. Well, it's mostly just Iceman, and he's getting overwhelmed. And at first, Maverick is like, "I can't do this." And they're like, fuck, this is what I said to not bring him. And then he's like, no, I'm a badass. And he just comes in and cleans house.
Doesn't Hollywood get shot down though?
Yeah,
So
what are
okay,
yeah,
okay,
Hollywood
I'm
did.
sorry.
Yeah.
What's been hit?
Yeah.
It's like, who's
Okay,
what?
I'm sorry.
Because, and Maverick comes in and just cleans house of all the MiGs. And he does the cool maneuver where he's like, hit the brakes. And where the plane, like, to get behind the final MiG. Yeah.
He shoots down 4 of them.
So Slider is Iceman's.
Which is what Dan said earlier. Yeah.
Okay, well then who?
Hollywood was just some other asshole in that school of assholes.
Oh, man. Yeah, fuck that asshole.
Yeah.
So once that happens, mission accomplished. And that guy needs to stop getting coffee when Mav asks for a flyby. And
Wolfman is Hollywood's Rio.
That's where Wolfman shows up. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I agree.
I had always thought that Iceman and Hollywood were
together.
Yeah, we're in the same.
Wait for Maverick to land, then get your fucking coffee.
Seriously. Like, you hear Mav call for a flyby and he says no, and what's he immediately do? He grabs it, like, this motherfucker's gonna fly by your tower, man.
Sundown's like, is this a good idea?
No fucks.
Nope, but we're gonna do it.
No, not Sundown. It was he had Merlin.
Merlin
was him.
Sorry.
That was you got Merlin at the very end.
Yeah.
It's good times. It was good. It was a good fight. Like, it was a good dogfight scene. Like, that whole thing was
whole thing was really cool. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what's great about this movie, and what I hope is great about the sequel is it's all practical. It's all actual jets, doing these things.
I got a feeling the new one's gonna be like all CG though.
No, I've heard there's a lot of actual jets, like good. Fights and stuff. I mean, I know that it wasn't all actual jets. I know they used miniatures as well.
Oh, I'm sure they did, yeah.
Which I also appreciate. I like that practical effect too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when we talk about Maverick, there's a lot of really cool facts about how crazy Tom Cruise is when it comes to making movies and how authentic he wants them to feel.
Yeah.
A lot of his stunts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they land. And everybody's like, yeah, we did it, guys. High fives around. And even, Iceman, he shows his respect and all that. Really cool. We then see Maverick take Goose's dog tags and he throws them into the ocean, which I'm like, wouldn't his wife get those?
I don't understand that. Like, I know it's supposed to be like a physical representation of like letting go of the past, but what's wrong with hanging on to that and remembering your wingman, your co-pilot?
If my best friend died, I don't want to just like completely forget.
Like, I don't get that. Like, like
it's weird.
You could accept the fact that your friend passed away and still do what you do. Like, you don't I don't get that. I was like, what the fuck did you do that?
We then find out Maverick is going to be a Top Gun instructor.
Yep.
God help us.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Maverick and Charlotte Cheesley meet back up again in a bar where you get the jukebox gets played a song and he meets her in there. And fun fact, Tom Cruise is very short. Well, I don't want to say very short. He's 5'7".
Yeah,
and
he's not tall.
Kelly McGinnis is 5'10". So when they did scenes where they had to be face to face, she never wore shoes in any scenes that she was filming with him, and he had to wear 3-inch lifts in his shoes. So they would actually see eye to eye.
Fair point.
So thought that was pretty funny. And it's not the first time or the last time Tom Cruise would have to be listen, Tom Cruise was cast as Jack Reacher, who in the books was a 6'5", like 230-pound man. And Tom Cruise is 5'7", maybe 185 pounds.
yeah, he's pretty old.
Oh, but I digress on that. And then we get the end credits with the 80s slapping tunes, and that's it. That is Top Gun.
Yeah. $75 million for Mission Impossible 3.
Gotta make them monies, bro.
Yep. And that's it. That's Top Gun. Well, that was a quick one. That That was a quick one. That seemed like it was just like beginning to end, just bam, 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 and that's how this movie felt the entire time. It was very just fast paced.
Yep.
Yeah, like that whole
I
last
appreciate it.
Enjoyable
fight.
characters.
The whole last fight was good.
Great dog fights. I'm not a big like player of like jet games and stuff, like video games, but when I watch these, I always think of shit like Ace Combat. If you ever played the Ace Combat franchise, that's the only like one I've ever come back to multiple times.
Ace
I'd
Combat
get, like-
and like any of the Star Wars flights, like the
Yeah. Like I grew up playing like Rogue Squadron and shit like that.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron. I couldn't think
Yeah,
of
that's good stuff. No, you're good.
So, as I was saying at the beginning of the episode, I posted on Twitter about people's feedback on what their thoughts are on this movie. And we got one response, at least for this week, and hopefully we'll get some more next week. But this comes from the Baron's Hideout podcast. Great guys. Hopefully we'll get them on the show sometime. They say Top Gun was a favorite of mine as a kid due to my stepdad really being into planes and stuff. Also, the soundtrack is great. It screams 80s, and I'm looking forward to Maverick. I feel all that. I loved fighter. Like, I was obsessed with, like, F-15. Like, because I think when I was a kid, it was F-15s. They were awesome. And I remember having, like, toy F-15s that I used to fly around. I even had a remote control one that used to, like, pretend like it was going to take off. Like, it would actually, like, tilt up and go. It never actually flew. That would have been fucking sweet.
That would have been totally sweet.
I feel that. Thank you so much for that, Baron's Hideout podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate you.
Waving.
Thank you. Hey,
thank
if
you.
You're watching,
hey.
yeah.
For the viewers,
yes,
not the listeners, I'm waving like a
they're
jackass.
actually, so the Baron's, I do want to say the Baron's Hideout podcast is the reason that I decided to do this, because they do it in their show where he posts Twitter things about what he's going to be reviewing, and then people leave comments and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? We're going to do it on this show because it's cool. I like involving the community more into the show. So appreciate you influencing me to do it. And thank you for sending us a comment.
Yay! Hurrah
right.
for concept theft, even though we acknowledge it. I just kidding.
Listen, it's so hard not to take something somebody already does.
I'm just fucking with you. It's totally cool. I'm just being a smart ass.
It's really hard to have an original concept that you come up with that doesn't play off of somebody else's.
So, if you are listening to this early, since this will be out around 9 a.m. Eastern time, we are going to be live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time today for our end of May wrap up live stream over on the Dissect That Film Twitch page. So if you don't follow us on Twitch, we are Dissect That Film over there. We're going to be doing a live show where we're talking about all the shows that we've done this month, and we're going to be talking about stuff that we're doing next month. But we're going to announce what we're going to be doing next week. Dan? I don't even listen. Me and Angela don't even know what it is. Oh, she might know what it is. Okay, well, I don't.
I do.
So Dan is going to announce what next week's episode is going to be. Drum roll, please.
So, if you've been paying attention to my shirt this whole episode, as I cover my man boobs, I gotta tell you a story first. So I'll let you know when drum roll time is. It's a build up. Okay, so I was walking through Walmart, and I'm wearing a shirt, and I seen this man walking towards me wearing the shirt of the exact same fucking movie. I'm like, I was thinking about like covering this whole time. And we both walked up, and he's like, hey, and I was like, dope ass shirt, dude. I need to buy one of those. And like, we had like this moment as fans, which never happens. But I would like to cover this next week coming up, the 2016 reboot standalone film of Shin Godzilla. It is don't need to watch anything else. It's the Japanese first film at that point of doing Godzilla since technically 2005. So there's almost an 11-year gap, and this would be the first Godzilla film after our 2014 one. And I'm a huge fan of Shin Godzilla. It's a fantastic movie, and I don't think you've ever seen it, have you?
No.
Parker? No. I love it, and I just ruined my wife's birthday
never let him down.
By saying, let's go see Shin Godzilla, because it was doing an American theatrical run, and it was on her fucking birthday.
So my question is it a dubbed movie?
Both.
Okay.
We watched it in the theaters with subtitles, and I have watched it dubbed.
Okay.
The dub is actually good.
All right. Well, there it is. That's what you guys get to look forward to next week. Listen, we've already talked about Godzilla on this channel back when we first started. So to be able to come back and do another version of Godzilla is exciting for me. Huh?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a year later.
Yeah. Oh,
About a
yeah,
year
pretty
later.
much. Oh,
So-
almost to the day.
Yeah.
I will spoil this for this because these I don't know. Obviously, you haven't seen it. And she obviously probably won't give her opinion just now. Shin Godzilla, in my opinion, is the best Godzilla movie they have made in Japan since 1995. It is a phenomenal movie. I suck that movie's dick. I got the callus to prove it in the back of my throat. So,
Oh my god. Jesus.
I do have one more thing to say about Top Gun, though.
Okay.
I feel the film Top Gun is a entirely unrealistic representation of the video game that is based upon the film because nobody crashes while they're landing on the aircraft carrier. We get it close with Cougar in the beginning, but nobody crashes in the aircraft carrier lands. Nobody, which is horseshit.
That is what you took away from this. Like, no one can crash onto the aircraft carrier.
That better happen in Maverick, or I'm going to be pissed. Secondly, where is my Top Gun on the NES HD remake? Thirdly, go watch Jurassic Park 3.
Wondered when you were going to work that in there.
I got to work it in.
All right. Well, next week we will be covering Shin Godzilla. Very excited. I got to look it up, see if I can buy this.
You need to. I think it's totally worth buying.
And then after that, we will be. That's when we're going to be jumping back into a franchise. We're going to be jumping back. We're going to be jumping into the Terminator franchise.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm very excited about. But don't forget, if you're watching this early, 8:30 tonight.
Yeah.
Live stream on the Dissect That Film page on Twitch.
Go
check us out there. Yeah, say hi to us and all that. And, throw out some suggestions. We're going to be talking about like pretty much the plan of what we're going to be doing the next couple months, hopefully. And a bunch of other stuff. I do want to plan on doing other things other than just talking about specific movies. I like doing the topic episodes and all that. So a lot of things we're going to discuss in that. So make sure to stop on by. Also, if I remember to hit record for that live stream,
we will remind you.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you did it for this episode. I was like, oh shit.
No, because I don't stream this, so I only have to hit one button.
Okay, it's fair.
But listen, if anyone hears other voices that aren't ours in the beginning of this episode, it's because my dumbass had a fucking Twitch page up and forgot to turn it off before I hit record. Whatever. It's a fate. Whatever. Who cares? But so the content for this week, if you didn't know, we did Monday, we released our season finale discussion of Halo. Yeah, it's something with my friend Andrew Schoening. Wednesday will be we released our fresh cut of the 2022 Firestarter remake, and then of course we have this on Friday, and then next week it's a bunch of different stuff. We're going to be hopefully doing a fresh cut on Chippendale Rescue Rangers, which just came out on Disney Plus. And then Shin Godzilla on Friday. So a lot of cool stuff. All right.
We're mixing it up. A lot of different
We're also going to be talking about guests and stuff we're going to be having on the show, but that'll be all during the live stream. So make sure to go to twitch.tv/dissect that film. Watch us live. Say hello. Listen to all the fucking shit we're going to talk about. And then you can leave. It's fine. We love you all. Until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. This is Dissect That Film. We are Dissect That Film. Holy shit. And this has been the Dissect That Film podcast, episode 55. A lot of words just came out of my mouth. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Goodbye.
Bye.